Statement na po. Palatag po yung inyong impeachment complaint.
Magandang hapon. Here we go again. Together with me sa hapong ito, I would like to recognize and call them one by one, recognize them, yung mga naghain ng third impeachment complaint against the Vice President. Maalala nyo, exactly more than a year ago, this site is familiar because andito rin kami like December 18 of December 2024. So we have Reverend Father Joel Sapalya of the Diocese of Novaliches. We have Father Joselito Sarabia of the Congregation of the Mission. We have Father Edilberto Baculi of the Congregation of the Mission. We have Father Rogelio del Rosario of the Missionaries of Jesus. We have Pastor Leonard P. Arevalo of the San Bartolome Christian Fellowship. We have Pinky Tam of the Stand Up for Good Rosary Group. Then we have Maria Loreto Lopez of the Matina Community Pantry and Consensya Davao and Selda. And we also have members of the Integrated Bar of the Philippines from Cebu. We have Attorney Jalilo de la Torre. We have a veteran freedom fighter from Cebu, Attorney Democrito Barcenas. We have Attorney Lourdes Barcenas. And we also have nuns from the Daughters of Charity. We have Sister Maria Liza Ruedas. We have Sister Violeta Cecilio. We have Sister Geraldine Dinoga. And joining us are also priests. We have Father Joen Porcincula and we have Father R. Villanueva. We are honored to have been endorsed by no less than our party list representative representing Mamamayang Liberal, Congresswoman Leila de Lima. It's an honor po, Madam. 7 days after the House of Representatives impeached the Vice President last year, the Sandigan Bayan ordered the imprisonment of a public school principal for pocketing 5,000 pesos. The school principal is ordered to be imprisoned for 11 years. It happened a week after the impeachment last year. And this is the second time that the third set of complainants, the group is filing an impeachment complaint against the Vice President. On what grounds? We are invoking the grounds of culpable violation of the Constitution, betrayal of public trusts, plunder, malversation, graft and corruption, bribery, and other high crimes, to the tune of 612,500,000 pesos. I repeat, it is contained in the complaints that the Vice President has amassed at least 612 million pesos, 612,500,000 pesos. And so I asked, if on one hand, we can send to jail a public school principal for pocketing 5,000 pesos for 11 years of imprisonment. That is on one hand. Can we give a free pass to the Vice President for stealing not one, not two, but 612,500,000 pesos? Do we give the Vice President a free pass just because she has a famous family name? How do we talk to our kids? We can send somebody for pocketing 5,000 pesos to jail for 11 years and let the vice president go scot-free just because she has a famous family name. It came to a point last year that these complainants believed, and these complainants continue to believe, that it is no longer just the constitutional obligation of the House of Representatives to impeach and for the Senate to remove from office the sitting Vice President of the Republic. That obligation is no longer just a constitutional one. It has become, and it remains to be, the moral obligation of Congress to impeach and remove from office once and for all Vice President Sara Duterte.
Okay. Attorney, meron po ba tayong mga matitibay na ebidensya para
Yes.
suportahan yung ating reklamo against the Vice President?
Yes, it's a 98-page documents, the pleading, minus the annexes. We certainly believe, as a litigator, I certainly believe that we have built a very strong case against the Vice Presidents. We attached the DEP's documents evidencing payments of the Vice President, proving allegedly how she spent the millions of pesos entrusted to her, being the Vice President and also being the head of DepEd.
What
And
about
here comes the affidavit. Okay, on one hand, the case can stand even without the affidavit of Ramil Madriaga. Why? Because the Vice President, her two officers, submitted fictitious names as alleged recipients of these millions of pesos entrusted to her. We have certifications from the Philippine Statistics Authority saying that these individuals do not exist. They were not born, they're not dead. They are what they are, fictitious. So the case will stand even without the affidavit of Ramil Madriaga. And here comes, out of the blue, providing the missing link, so to speak, on how the Vice President actually did it. Ramil Madriaga's affidavit narrates how the 125 million pesos were actually spent on December 2022. Now, I think 2 weeks ago, if you can read in the pleading, there's a prefatory statement quoting a song. The Senate President, Vicente Soto, said, impeaching the Vice President has become an impossible dream. But this group of complainants, we believe in that. With that court decision that makes impeachment harder than it should be, yes, impeachment has become an impossible dream, but we will continue to dream that impossible dream.
Would you rather that the House go again with that one-third route, diretso sa Senate? Or would you want the House to refer it first sa Justice Committee hearings na lang?
What's your name again?
Yanes Kapatid.
It's really up to the House on how to proceed. We have two options. We can go through the more rigorous process of the House Committee on Justice, determining whether the allegations, the three impeachment complaints, are sufficient in form and in substance, and for that committee to determine whether it should proceed to the plenary for votes. Or the House of Representatives could proceed with the more expeditious way of impeaching the Vice President, that is through a vote of one-third in the plenary. But on behalf of the third set of complainants, we believe either way, the evidence will speak for themselves.
Attorney, do you have a credible witness to stand po dun sa impeachment
Yes,
proceedings?
yes. We have
Aside
statements of the personnel and staff of the Vice President herself, from the OVP and DepEd, making admissions under oaths. So we can use these witnesses, and we have Rabin Badriaga, and we have the Vice President herself. She signed certification saying that she ordered how the millions of pesos would have to be the millions of pesos, how they should be spent. So we have everything. We have witnesses. We have documents to prove that the Vice President violated her oath. She should be removed from office for culpable violation of the Constitution, for betrayal of public trust, for bribery, graft and corruption, plunder, and malversation.
We believe this is a moral duty for us as priests and religious. So ang usapin po ay hindi lamang political, hindi po kami mga politicians. We believe there is a moral concern, and kaya nandito po kami muli. And we pray that Congress impeach forthwith Vice President Sara Duterte for the cause of truth, even due process. This is the time for her to present her evidences. No, hindi niya sinagot yung maraming tanong. This is an occasion for her to answer all the accusations. Kaya magandang space po ito, forum for her to defend even herself. But we believe, for the cause of justice, accountability, she has to answer and be rightly judged by our representatives and senators. Marami pong salamat.
We noticed maraming church people here. Anong cost ng church? I mean,
Yeah, that's why we say we are Filipinos. We are obedient also to the Constitution. So and this is a moral concern, no? So and that's why we are here.
Are you concerned?
We are saying to our kids, to our children, it's not right to steal, it's not right to lie, magnakaw at magsinungaling. Pinapasa Diyos na lang po namin ang iba na yan. But we will work, no? We will work and we'll be here to represent not only ourselves but sectors behind us. We are not only Catholics, we are also Protestant. We have Protestants, pastor, evangelicals with us.
So alam niyo naman po ninyo na inendorse ko yung second complaint, right? Yung the one filed by also from various civil society organizations. And meron din mga kasamang paring doon. Sila Father Flavio Villanueva, Father Robert Reyes. So wala akong prohibition for anyone, for any endorser, to endorse more than once. Wala po yan sa rules, wala po yan sa batas, wala po yan sa constitution na isa lang dapat ang i-endorse ng isang miyembro ng House of Representatives. So why did I agree to be an endorser? Ang totoo po niya, about few days ago, kinausap po ako ng dalawa sa kanila, yung dalawang complainant, si Father Sabalia, tsaka si Father Sarabia. Dati ko na po silang kilala, kasama po sila sa mga aking mga spiritual advisors noon, nakakulong po pa ako, katulad din po nila Father Villanueva and Father Reyes. So sabi nila, meron nga, they intend again to file the third impeachment complaint because they are among also the complainants in that previous complaint, the third complaint filed by private citizens dati, noong 2023. So sabi ko, okay, pag iisipan ko at syempre titingnan ko na muna yung itsura ng complaint, anong mga laman yan, kung sa aking palagay ay sufficient in form and substance, aking palagay ay may enough grounds for impeachment at makaka-reach ito ng concluding stage sa committee level, which is the evidentiary or the trial stage. Ang mga grounds po hindi po nalalayo doon sa mga grounds na sinabi doon sa second complaint. Hindi din po ito lumalayo o nalalayo doon sa pinakamismong grounds ginamit ng more than 1/3 of the House of Representatives last year in endorsing and adopting articles of impeachment and transmitting the same to the Senate. Mas na-improve pa nga po. It's an improved version actually, if I must say, that it's an improved version noong mismo ng mga articles of impeachment na pinadala noon as endorsed, as signed and endorsed by more than 1/3 of the members of the House. So, umuopo ako noon. Nakita ko na po yung complaint mismo. Nakita ko yung marami siyang mga supporting evidence. Sigurado rin po ako, just like the second complaint, napapasa ito sa stage ng pag-determine ng sufficiency in form and substance and hanggang doon din sa pinaka-dulo ng proceedings sa House, which as I said, is yung pag-evaluate na ng mga ebidensya kasi sasagutin nga yan, papasagutin ang respondent, si VP Sara, kapag pumasa na sa determination of sufficiency in form.
What is your statement?
Nakikita nyo naman po na yung mga complainants, na second and the third complainants, and even of the first complainants, they are private citizens, they are members of clergy, they are members of organizations, and they have been into this, into their cause, into their campaign for accountability of highest officials of this country, and including the Vice President. So yung kanilang motivation is not at all political. Sabi nga ni Father Sarabia, may halo din po itong moral, because it's the moral obligation of everyone, the moral obligation of the members of Congress, members of the House of Representatives, to do its constitutional duty, to scrutinize the allegations, evaluate the evidence, and make a finding of probable cause para nga po ma-consider na rin ng 1/3, at least 1/3 of the House members na magkaroon na ng isa pa ulit ng articles, pag-adopt ng articles of impeachment na itatransmit sa Senado for trial. Findings, mga liquidation vouchers, liquidation documents showing all of those fictitious names of alleged payees or alleged beneficiaries. Legislative records, yung mga TSN, yung mga proceedings, yung mga hearings before the Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability. And then, yung isang ground, yung tungkol sa pag-threaten niya na ipapa-assassinate, na nag-utos na daw, nag-hire na ng assassin, ipa-assassinate yung Pangulo, yung First Lady, and the former Speaker of the House. Ang pinaka-ebidensya, yung galing mismo sa kanyang bunganga, right from her mouth. Nakitang-kita natin yung video kung saan ginawa niya yung threat na yon ng plot to assassinate those three officials or those three individuals. So nandyan, from her own mouth, from herself, from legislative records, from audit findings, official audit findings, liquidation vouchers, and ang nakadagdag, yung sworn statement ni Ramil Madriaga, na yun nga daw ang link doon sa usapin ng pag-abuso, pag-misuse, pagwaldas ng confidential funds of both the Office of the President and the DepEd Secretary. So yun ang panibagong evidence, yun ang nakadagdag dun sa mga ebidensya.
You were with the Akbayan po noong 2024 December filing po dito, kasama po yung Pilipinas, other civil society groups. Wala pong pahayag na ganun si VP Sara like what she said nitong weekend. Pero ngayon po, sininggle out pa, naka-laser focus po siya kay Senator Risa Hontiveros, no? Ano po sa tingin niyo? Bakit po kaya siya nagsasalita ng ganito?
Well, yun ang nakikita niyang pwede niyang depensa na hindi naman yan legal defense, yung sinasabing pamumulitika. Wala siyang ibang masagot na substance or yung sa substantive grounds Hindi niya masagot-sagot yung mga substantive grounds na inilaad doon sa second impeachment, which I also. So hindi lang Akbayan, hindi lang si Akbayan Party List Representative Percy Sendanya ang nag-endorse. Hindi naman in-endorse yan, syempre, ni Senator Risa Ontiveros. Tsaka, inulit nga noon, di ba? Si Representative Sendanya was the only endorser of that second complaint last time. Di ba? So bakit ngayon lang niya sinasabi yung tungkol sa pamumulitika?
Bakit po
Hindi
kaya?
po yan, kasi shallow yung kanyang magiging defense, legally speaking. Kaya doon na lang siya pumupuntirya sa political aspect of the whole case. Of course, the Secretary General, kasi nanumpa na nga po ako dun sa aking resolution of endorsement before SecGen Garafil. We expect her to also transmit immediately this complaint with all the annexes. And then para mailagay na rin ng Office of the Speaker and the Speaker sa order of business. Pero syempre, i-take up muna yan sa Rules Committee. We all know that ang regular meeting ng Rules Committee is tomorrow. So most probably bukas ay matatransmit na ng Office of the Speaker and then iti-take up sa Rules Committee level para ipadala na sa plenary at ang plenary ang mag-refer sa Committee on Justice. So magtatlo na ngayon. So tatlong committees, tatlong complaints ang mai-refer ngayon sa committee. Matatransmit at malalagay sa order of business, matitake up sa Rules Committee, and finally sa plenary for endorsement to the Committee on Justice.
Hindi naman endorse.
That's probably her motivation, but that you know, that's we have to look into her state of mind. Pero it's a political argument, not at all with respect to the legal merits, substantive merits of the complaint. Yun lang naman ang importante. You know, that's an extraneous factor. I call it an extraneous argument. Yung ganyan na mga pagtitirada niya sa Akbayan at kay Senator Risa Ontiveros.